How's it going, everybody? My name is David. I am the editor of Tire Review magazine, and every year I have the pleasure of working with K&M and an independent panel of judges to identify what we like to call our top shop. So top shop is, it's not a competition to see who has the most stores or who's making the most sales. It's not a popularity contest where we throw it up on Facebook and say who's your favorite. Instead, we're looking at who is doing business the way that we feel is the right way to do it. So, you are evolving the way that you are approaching customer service or marketing or the appearance of your shop, things like this. We're also looking at potential. So we want to see which of these shops are doing things to get rave reviews online, who is, they're trying to get that next store, or maybe they want to, add a different level of service to what they're doing. So this is stuff that's very, very important to us. There's no exact mold on how to do this, though. We've had many winners over the years, and they're all so diverse, which is one of the great things about this industry, that you can achieve being a top shop so many different ways. And I can say the same for each of the shops represented up here. We can only have one top shop every year, unfortunately, because each of these shops totally deserves top shop recognition this year. They're all doing business the right way. They're all doing fantastic in their areas, but they're doing things completely different from one another, which is why I wanted them all to come up here today to kind of explain to us all how they were able to, achieve this kind of recognition. And so, I'm just going to kind of turn it over to these guys. I'm going to just ask them questions, and they can help us understand the things that they're doing right in their business, and hopefully, understand how we can all do a little bit better. So we have David Pfoff from Allen Tire. We have Michael Handel from Wholesale Tire, and we have Austin Miller from Tire Star. Can we give them a round of applause, please? Thank you. Guys, congratulations. Really appreciate you being here. Like I said, you guys are all doing business so well, and you're all so successful in your markets. I just want to go down the line. We'll start here. How long have you been in the tire industry, and how'd you get your start?
Hi, everybody. My name is Austin Miller, and I've been in the tire industry since 2010, kind of the end of 2010. I got my start probably a little different than a lot of people did, and I was working for someone in the ag business. Building became available. The employer at the time gave me an opportunity to start at the time, tire shop and automotive repair business, and I started into it with partners. I know that this business is rich with a lot of people being in it for generations, and I can really appreciate that. I grew up on a farm and still enjoyed a farm, but I would say I didn't have the opportunity to start that way, but I was given a really good opportunity to get into the business, and that's kind of how I started in 2010, beginning of 2011.
It's crazy to me. I mean, what was your approach when you first began, you're diving in feet first, and you didn't grow up in this business. So what was running through your head?
Back then, yeah, I'm honestly not sure. I'm not sure how I got to this point today, and that's probably what got me through. I was determined to make it work. I liked retail. I liked customers, and what I didn't know, I tried really hard to be around people that knew, or be able to, I would just spend a lot of time trying to find out the things I didn't know to then be able to run a good business. And I've attended the trade show every year since I've been in business, and there's people I see in this room that have given me a wealth of their knowledge, and I really appreciate that. And I think my encouragement would be, there's so much knowledge in these rooms. Tap into some of that. Make sure you're talking to other people, because that really helped talking about shaping the future, that really shaped my future, is getting good people around me right from the beginning.
Fantastic. Thank you. Michael?
So I started in the tire business full-time in 2000. Family business. My dad started in '72. Since then, I've pretty much been handling everything day to day because when COVID happened, I didn't want him at the store. So even before that, when I was a kid, my mom would kick me out of the house and make me go to work with Dad because I wasn't always the best listener. So I've been doing it for pretty much my whole life, but full-time since probably 2000.
And how did it feel going from a employee point of view to more of a management ownership style point of view?
Oh man, it was. I guess I always from the start, my dad had instilled in me the management thought process. So when I even was working in the back, I never really was that idea of, well, I'm only here from 9 to 5 and I'm out. And there was always that more to the business. So I never really, I don't think, was ever that guy that works for me now that, barely comes to work or so shows up some days and not the next. And I never really had that work ethic.
Sure.
So.
Sure. Fantastic. Thank you. David.
I grew up in a family that my father had always worked in the tire industry. He opened his first store when I was 6 years old. We were in and out of the store when we were kids a lot. When I was in junior high and early high school, I worked for a family right outside of town on a farm. And by the time I was 17, the farming thing around us was getting kind of thin. So Dad says, why don't you come up and work for me full time? Still going to high school at that time. We'd get out at noon, work the rest of the day. So I had joined the National Guard my senior year and went off to basic training and came back. And it's like, I said, I think I want to go, full time, work with Dad for a while. So when I was 20 years old, we had a good opportunity to buy an old gas station in Bellefontaine, Ohio. The Honda plants had just opened, and there was a lot of opportunity that we saw there. So Dad bought that, and I worked for them for several years. Me and my wife ran it for several years. We were just the two, young married and everything, and we pumped a little gas for a while, and we were still focused on the tire industry. But we bought them out, and in '91 built a new building, and just have been trucking ever since. And it's this is my 40th year, and it seems like just yesterday that I was some of these guys positions where they just starting out or whatever. But it has been a joy to do what I've done and to love it the whole time. It's when you can go to work and say, it's not really work. Love working on cars. Love to talk to people. Some days the people might be a little harder to talk to than others. But I've had great success with the people that have worked for me. My daughter came on several years ago. Wes has been with me 21 years, so we've been blessed. Just have been blessed.
And what's the biggest difference that you've seen since you opened that store in '91 and today?
Everything. What hasn't changed? I mean, we went from, in the 80s of having 40 sizes of tires to now there's 1,400 sizes of tires. And, back when we started, cars were carbureted and tires, there wasn't that many different, proliferations of wheels and tires and things like that. So, I mean, it's all changed. And I think to, stay up on things, you have to constantly want to learn. You have to constantly make mistakes so that you do better the next time. And I think that's the only way to learn like that is, you have to get into it and you have to do it yourself. If you're an owner or a manager and you're setting up front and, you're strictly selling tires and not seeing what's going on in the back, that's not a good thing. You need to know what's going on back there so that you can keep teaching as you go and learning also.
I think that's a really good point. Austin, I want to start with you here. I want you to think about whoever your biggest competition might be. Maybe that's online, maybe it's a big box retailer or, even another independent near you. Whoever that might be, what is a strength that you are leaning on in your business that competition can't touch?
we're in a pretty rural area, so I would say most of our competition is from other independent tire dealers. One thing we try to do to differentiate ourselves is offer the latest technology. We're offering the ability to buy tires online, to book appointments online, and then we're also doing free pickup and delivery. We're trying to take a customer service level that hasn't always been present in the tire business and bring it into a rural area. And I feel like that has helped us. Again, we all have competition. It definitely affects us, but I feel like that has put us a step above and has also increased the quality of our clients because we have people that appreciate that and are willing to pay a little bit more for a premium service.
So when you say quality of clients, you mean people who are going to be, spending more at one time?
Correct, and are a little less likely to. We all have the price shoppers, and they hit every one of our businesses, but a lot of times they can drag us down, and we probably have less of that since we offer a little bit more of a premium service.
Sure. Thank you. Same question for you, Michael.
I usually don't like to focus on the competition. I try to play our own game. I don't want to, I pay attention to what other people are doing, but if it's not going to fit in what we do, I don't usually mess with it or worry about it. Probably our biggest advantage over most other people is I have a fair amount of employees and we only do tires. So very rarely will we do a brake job or stuff like that. So when you're coming to see us, you're only going to be here for 20 minutes, half hour, and your car's done. There's no dropping it off, waiting, coming back. And I think people like that because it's a in and out and they can move on. They don't have to wait. They don't have to drop it off. I've heard, couldn't tell you how many times, so-and-so down the street told me it's going to be 3 hours. Well, they're not rebuilding the motor. They're just putting 4 tires on the car. So I think that's our biggest advantage if I had to pick one over our competition.
Yeah, makes a lot of people are busy, they want in and out, for sure.
I'm kind of the same way. We've never ever focused on competition. We have always just tried to focus on what we can do best and to make it better for the customer. As I see it, there's too much. It's not really a competition as I see it in our little community. There's enough to go around. Everybody, we got a guy on the other side of town. There's one, on the south side, whatever. There's enough to go around. You want to outshine everybody with how you treat people, what they think about you and the people that work for you when they're done. I've come to the conclusion over the years that you can do a really mediocre job, but if you're really, really nice and good to the customers, they'll come back and they'll do anything. Honestly, how many times have you had somebody come in and say, the only reason I came back here is they were so nice to me, So, we focus more on that. Yes, we try to do the best job ever. I work on each car, myself and Wes, just like it's our own. And I'm a very picky person. So when it leaves, it's going to be right.
Is that part of your training or hiring process, making sure that you're getting those employees who are, going to have that kind of personality to be able to...
Yes, and we haven't had that big of a turnover. Wes has been with me 21 years. We've had a few other guys in between, and my daughter's with us. So it's now just second nature for us. We don't even have to talk about stuff anymore. It's just done the right way.
Yeah. I love that. We've seen obviously so much change over the past few years, especially obviously COVID, right? It's changed the way that everybody does business in one way or another. Can you point to, over the last 2-3 years, something that you've had to change about your business and that, hey, you saw a positive return from that change?
So we're heavy into the automotive repair side, and probably the biggest thing we have noticed since COVID is people they want the convenience. We have a lot more people that want us to pick up their vehicle, drop it off. Probably COVID was bad, and it kind of showed people that they can do business without being face-to-face. We still love our face-to-face customers, but we also have a pretty large clientele that we barely ever see. They might drop off overnight. They might want their invoice. We try to offer the latest technology for that clientele, and I think it's probably a little more important if you're in the automotive repair, because we can't have a customer wait while we swap out their engine or their transmission, but offering them a courtesy car, offering them the ability to be able to pay for it and have a lockbox to where they can pick up their vehicle after hours. Some of those conveniences are what we've really focused on the last couple of years, and I feel like they've really propelled us since COVID. I personally would still rather do business face-to-face, but not all of our customers prefer that, so we try to offer both.
And since in a lot of these cases you're not doing face-to-face, is this kind of a feeling that you have that, like, hey, this is working, people love this? Or are people actually reaching out to you and telling you, hey, I really love that you've had this Dropbox service or whatever it is?
We get a lot of positive reviews on the ease of doing business with us, and that's what we try and make it. I mean, if somebody wants to come in and have a conversation, a cup of coffee, we offer that. If they would prefer we never see them, we offer that as well. So we try to do what the customer wants as long as it's within reason.
Excellent.
Very similar. I think the biggest thing that we changed when COVID happened was, allowing customers to stay in their car. Like I said, we're not doing that service work. It's just the tires. You're only lifting the car up off the ground a little bit. And I have had conversations with customers that like that and have come in and said, hey, can we still stay in the car while you do it? Because I really like that. Your waiting room's nice, but I'd rather just sit in my car and be comfortable and talk on my phone or play on my phone or do whatever. And we've had customers actually coming in that I've never seen before and never been in our system, and they're asking for that. So it's clearly gotten out into our community of that's a feature, and clearly people like it. So we've been doing that actually ever since COVID, and it's been great for my employees too, because now I don't have to deal with, you were in my car and this is dirty, or now my headlight doesn't work and you put a tire on my car. Issues like that are gone, which is great, because if we mess something up, I'm going to fix it. But I'm also not going to fix something that is, your headlight went out when we put a right rear tire on, which I'm sure everybody has. But so yeah, I think that's probably a very positive thing that we've taken away from the change recently in the industry.
I can honestly say that we haven't done a whole lot different since COVID. We tried not to let that, change our lives in a big way. I mean, it did for a lot of people. Something we did start doing is we started closing at noon on Friday. So we're open 8 hours a day and then 4 hours on Friday. Best thing I ever did.
Really?
Yes. Units did not go down the next year, and profit did not go down the next year. And as you get older, it's nice to have 2.5 days off. So, I mean, that's been and your customers, if, loyal customers, it doesn't matter if you're open 3 hours a week, they're going to be there. The other people that's going to come and go, maybe some of those that you don't really want. It's some of that junk work that just, it doesn't matter. You're working on stuff that you don't really want to work on. But yes, we have a lot of drop and goes and things like that, but we still like the people to come in the door, and you've become friends over the years with a lot of the people, so you want to visit a little bit. It's one of those things that you enjoy going in and working on stuff, but also you enjoy when you have that one-to-one with people that maybe you haven't seen for a year, and you want to find out what's going on in their life. So that's kind of how we've done it.
Taking those half days on Fridays, have you found, the rest of your week is a little more stressful? You've got more going on, more to worry about?
Not really. You work on the better jobs, though. You really do. You'll push those better jobs in instead of stringing them all out. Instead of maybe on a Tuesday of doing 6 or 8 cars from noon on, that you'll try and do 12. And then Friday morning, sometimes it can be really busy, and sometimes you'll have 6, 7 cars. You just kind of cruise through, and at noon, we're out. Sure. So it's for us, it's really worked.
That's great. That's great to hear. I want to ask you all about marketing. Is there a marketing venture that you've done for your stores that you can really point to the ROI and say, okay, we didn't have to put in a lot of effort, we didn't have to spend a lot of money on this, and it's definitely working. I mean, what's your best marketing strategy?
I hate to put it down to one, but I have two that I really like. We use Google AdWords to push people towards online appointments, and we're getting about 30% of our appointments online, which really frees up the advisors from, just really frees up time because that's all being put in automatically. The other thing that we do, every car that leaves gets a thank you note with a gift that changes every month, and that's probably the thing we hear the most from our customers that they love. They're like, I can't wait to pick up my car to see what's in the cup holder this month, and it changes every month.
What kind of gifts are we talking about?
They're usually 50 cents to $1, and it has a thank you note with a QR code for a chance for them to leave a review about their experience. And like this month, it's a packet of hot chocolate. Last month, it was a candy, a pack of Oreos. It changes from month to month, but we've gotten a really good response from that.
Yeah. But you don't have to put, Apple earbuds in there or something.
No, it doesn't have to be expensive. It feels to me like the fact that you're thinking about them and they're not used to going to a tire. They're used to looking at the ceiling. Did they put dirty paw prints on my headliner? Is my steering wheel filthy? Well, now, those are going to be clean and there's going to be a gift in the cup holder and they're not expecting that. And I feel like that gets passed on word of mouth and brings customers back.
Very nice.
I actually think that's a great idea. Advertising. We actually have never done advertising. Short of a Facebook and just Google reviews, we really do stress to our customers that they're our best advertising. And if they'll go out and leave a review, great. If they want to, I've never been one to push. In trade shows past, they've always said, offer them a $5 discount for a review. I don't like that. I think you're paying for it, and if they want to leave it, great. If you don't, that's fine. But a lot of times, like I said in the last time, people were coming in saying, hey, I want to stay in my car, so let's put the tires on. Well, that's clearly showing that word of mouth is working.
Do you, I know you're not doing the, $5 for a review, but do you push your staff to make sure that they're asking for those reviews, or, is that kind of the main way that you're getting that word of mouth out, would you say?
No, I don't really push. I don't tell the employees to ask for it. In my opinion, if we're doing a good enough job, they're going to leave a review. In that same token, though, for me to leave a review for somebody would take a lot. You'd have to be really good. And even if you're really, really bad, I'm still not going to leave the review. So I also understand that side of it. But a lot of my customers do leave the reviews. And a lot of them, as far as I'm concerned, I'd rather them go tell 5 people than leave a review because, everyone's read reviews. They are what they are. Some people are crazy and over the top great, and some of them just have clearly no idea what they're talking about.
Sure.
We've never focused on the computer review thing at all. I know that it's there. My daughter does some Facebook stuff for us now. Until she came on, I didn't have time to do that, nor did I know how to do it. I think the best return on the investment is probably, we've been spending money with the local newspaper for a long time, monthly, to where we're in with small ads here and there. They're online now also, so they can read it. We'll do a billboard here and there, small ones in town. I still think the best return on investment is, in a small community like ours, is, say you put a set of tires on for Bill, and Bill goes out and he talks to his neighbor, and, we know everybody knows everybody in a small community. So I still think that that's the best, advertising and return on investment you can have, without having to, as far as the budget of, I spend 1 or 2% of my, earnings on years ago, maybe a little bit more so, but not anymore. It's I guess I'm getting to the point of, the trail's getting short. So it's, we're in 3 generations of customers now that, when you come in and the kid says, hey, my grandparents came here and my mom and dad, and this is where I'm going to come, because everybody said something good. So I think that's the best return on investment.
When it comes to your Facebook posting, social media, what kinds of things are you posting? Is it the weekly deal or?
We don't really run a weekly deal. It's more, yeah, yeah. It's more of what we're doing. Certain weeks you might run a thing that says, hey, check your air and your tires. Stop over for a free air check. Think about, tires going into winter. Think about summertime. If you're going to be taking a vacation, go out and take a look at things. And, and then put maybe something stupid on there, and people will reply to that or they'll come in and say, hey, I seen it on, on Facebook, so.
Yeah, I'm into that too. Yeah. I want to ask you guys, when you look at the future of this industry, what is it that's kind of keeping you up at night? What's preventing you from sleeping?
I asked my wife this question. She says, nothing. You sleep all night. Electric vehicles are for sure on the horizon. I don't think that's the end for the independent tire dealer. They still take tires. I think it will cause us to maybe change our ways. I think it's good for us to be aware of that. Probably if I had to say one thing that concerns me, I hear of more and more shops burning down. Fire safety is kind of something I've been focusing on the last year, and I know that's kind of an immediate concern, but I would just encourage everybody, does your staff know where your fire extinguishers are? Are your shop towels in a metal bin? Are your electric batteries getting unplugged at night? Like, those are the kinds of things that worry me, and I have, insurance to cover that, but it still is not anything you want to be in. So that's kind of the immediate thing that worries me is fire, because we're in a business where if a fire starts, what we house really burns well, and I don't want that. But other than that, probably my focus looking out 5 years, 10 years into the future is going to be sure that we're training on electric vehicles, making sure we're ready for the change, because it's for sure coming. We heard this morning that I think 20% of all new vehicles that are sold are either hybrid or electric, and we want to be prepared for that.
Are you getting many of those requests right now?
More each month. It used to be if we saw a Tesla, it was like, hey, cool, there's a Tesla. Now it's like you're seeing them on a weekly basis, and so we're for sure getting into those more, and we're going to continue to see more, especially as those electric vehicles age out. There's going to be less work being done at the dealer and more going to be done by the independent.
And those Tesla owners, what are they asking you for? Are they just looking for new tires and then they take care of everything else at the Tesla dealer, or are they asking you for maintenance service?
I feel like they're looking for everything in our area because it's a couple hours to a Tesla dealer, and it's a real hassle usually to get a repair done. So they're asking for alignments. They're asking for, there's some control arm issues on the Teslas. We're not doing anything we're not rebuilding batteries. We're not replacing battery packs yet, but I see that coming down the road.
Interesting.
So for me, I've been blessed. I've got a great staff, great crew. And really, I hate to sound stupid here, but with only doing tires, they're, a need, not a want. So people are always going to need them. They're going to have to get them until we get flying cars, which I don't see that happening anytime soon. But yeah, for me, it's been sleeping very well.
Yeah. That's great.
I think for me, just in the last few years, I'm really thinking about who's going to take over next. It seems to be like there's a lot of people in the 40 to 65 to 70-year-old range. We're all in this business. Who's going to take over when we're done? Even in any of the automotive industry, no young people want to get into it. I mean, everybody needs technicians. Everybody needs, somebody to work on something. But we have to, as not only people in this industry, but, as citizens, we have to get the younger people to do hands-on work. And I don't think that we've done very well the last 20 years at doing that. I remember back in the late 80s, early 90s, we would have people come into the store and they would know as much about their car as you did. Not anymore. Those days are gone. So, who's going to take over this when all of us old guys now retire? I've always thought about that. And as I get older and get closer to that, I'm, really struggling with that.
When you do put a job posting out, are you getting those younger people interested, or is it, people who have been in the business for a while?
We haven't had a job posting for, 20 years? So
that's fair.
But we don't have the people come in that we used to, the younger people saying, hey, do you have a job opening? We just don't see that anymore. And I don't know if it's because we've said no for so long that finally everybody's like, well, don't go there. But yeah, it's a generational thing too. I remember when my grandfather, he was a office man at the Rockwell plant in Kenton, and he's like, he says, those younger guys, they just don't know how to work. And that's when he was in his early 60s. So.
Some things never change, I guess.
Right.
So other side of the coin for you guys, what is an opportunity that, you've got your eyes on in this industry that, maybe your competition doesn't?
One thing we're doing is mobile tire installation, and that's new for this coming year. There's not really anybody in our immediate area that's offering that, so we're hoping to take some market share by offering that, and that is something that the Costco's aren't going to be doing, I don't think, anytime immediately. And yeah, it's an area that I feel like there's a lot of opportunity for, just simply because of the convenience, along with we try to embrace every opportunity we can to make it easier to do business with us. We use digital vehicle inspections, we use text to pay, we try to do everything we can that other people might not be adapting. We try to adapt it as quickly as possible.
Well, I want to know about that mobile install, because I've thought about that, but I want to know how it goes.
Ask me next year.
Right, that's what I was thinking. I think for me, I want to expand. We currently house a lot of tires. I want to expand that because, to his point, the SKUs are getting a lot more. I can't have everything. I don't like the idea. I'm the kind of person that if I want something, I want to be able to go to the store and just buy it. I don't want to order it on Amazon. I don't want to wait. I'm impatient. And if I want it, I just want to go get it. So I want to have that for my customer of, hey, all right, you come in and I might have the exact tire you want, but I'll have a quality tire that we can put on the car that will be safe and what you need. But I want to have it. We've had that goal a while ago and we're just busting at the seams. We just can't physically put another tire in the store, or we'll be sitting on them.
We try to keep up with all the new technology. We've gotten deep into the TPMS the last couple of years. We're doing very well with that. We try and do things correctly the first time that a lot of especially the Walmarts and the NTWs and places like that, they just fail so badly in that. And we bring the customer back and we show them this is so simple. If it should have been done correctly the first time. To set yourself apart, it's also, do what you say what you do. If you tell somebody that, we're going to take care of that, take care of it. Have integrity with that. We'll be the first ones if, say you break a center cap or something on getting a wheel off of a car or whatever, go up front and show the people. And then show them how deteriorated that everything is. And normally they're like, oh, don't worry about that, So you just try and set yourself apart from the other ones. Be kind to the people. And they feel that when they come in. Don't go to work with a frown on your face. It's easier to smile than it is to frown. So, and just be happy and show the people gratitude. Good Lord put us all on earth to help each other. So,
I'm interested in what you said about diving into TPMS. Are you using that as like an upsell opportunity, or are people coming to you strictly for TPMS?
Well, for years we kind of farmed that out, and now we're doing it. And our customers are saying, "Light's been on for a while. Can you take care of it?" Sure, no problem. We can do that. And we'll put a sensor in. We can be timely with that. We can do it pretty quickly as we're doing the car, or we'll get you right back in or whatever and take care of it. We're also very fair with the price. We don't want to make a ton on that, but it's just an added extra for our customers. That way they don't have to make the second stop somewhere else. Sure. So.
Excellent. So guys, one last question for you. What is just your bottom line best advice for the people in this room, to succeed in their business, have a great 2025?
I think that's kind of a loaded question, but on my mind, what helped propel us probably comes down to quality control, and it's probably more of an issue as you grow. There's no way I can see every car because I can't be at multiple locations, and for us, it's been a quality control process for every car, because if you're not quality controlling your vehicles, your customers are, and at that point in time, it's too late. And we feel like if we stop it, we're all human. We all make mistakes. We try to hire people that don't make mistakes, but by implementing a quality control process, I feel like that has been the best thing I've done for my business and has prevented a ton of issues, because once it becomes a comeback, it's just a headache. The customer doesn't trust you, no matter if you we're all going to make mistakes, we're going to make it right, but the more times you mess up, the less likely they are on coming back, and I'd rather catch that before it leaves the store.
And what does that quality control process kind of look like? You don't have to go into every detail, but how many people are involved?
So for us, each store has a quality control person. For 2 smaller stores, it is the shop foreman doing the quality control. For our larger store, it is a full-time quality control person that does nothing else but quality control.
Wow. I would say to Dave's point, I agree 100%. Having integrity, doing what you say you're going to do, and do it. Treat the customer fair, and it's the hand that feeds you. So you take care of them, they'll take care of you.
I love
that. I think there's several different things that you can be very successful in. First of all, you have to love it. If you don't like what you're doing, you got to find something else to do. Because if you don't love it, you're not going to be a happy person at work. The next thing, you need to be the best that you can be in your area. You need to learn as much, if not more, than anybody else does. You have to be a sponge. You have to take this in all the time. You have to put out the best product possible. You have to be very fair with your product. And I think over the years, may have been too fair at times, where you're not going to make that huge dollar, but down the road, it all comes back. This hard work, keep your shop clean, have a nice restroom, especially for the ladies. Guys, 60 to 65% of all of our business is ladies. They don't want to go into a restroom that's like, ooh, they don't want to sit down on nothing, or, have something. It doesn't have to be new. Throw a coat of paint on it, Throw some LVP on the floor. You can do little things that can make you look so much better than the guy down the street, and it's not expensive to do. And then have a smiling face at the counter, and everybody that works on your stuff. So
That's wonderful. Well, guys, thank you so much, each one of you. I really appreciate your time here. A lot of wisdom on this stage. So again, just thank you for being here and for sharing it.
thank you.
Thank you all for joining us. Appreciate you.